Alright, so it is super late right now, and I just got done harvesting all these Blue Dreams from my Blue Dream tank. Now, I've got 2 Blue Dream tanks going right now. These are from Lucas, but I didn't get a lot of them, so I wanted to grab, some more genetics. That's why you saw me do an unboxing of these not too long ago. But I've got a 10-gallon that's basically full of them, so I just went ahead and I picked, come on focus, I picked the best ones that I could, and I pulled the Siamese algae eaters out of this 40-gallon high-tech tank and made sure I had a good pre-filter on that hang-on back. And this tank is getting CO2, but I actually might disconnect it and just go with the sponge filter. I'm not sure yet. Because I want a little bit of CO2 in here, but I'd rather just have this on a sponge and do away with the hang-on back. But there are ways around that. For now, I think that's good enough. But if they're always feeding on that thing, because of course it's collecting all that stuff, I may change it up and I may remove that and just do CO2 some other way or not at all, and then go with a sponge. But yeah, this is going to be a Blue Dream tank. Now, you notice this is one of the few tanks that'll have shrimp in that doesn't have black substrate. From my knowledge, Blue Dreams and Black Roses, you don't have to go with dark substrate. Now these guys, Lucas's, I don't think are this dang dark. Some of mine are just straight black, or very close to black, it seems like, on that black substrate. So I think I can get away with putting them on this. If I feel like it's an issue, I mean, look at all that green anyways. I mean, moss is green, plants are green, so if that substrate is a problem, I'll just, I'll put a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 inch of black diamond blasting sand on it, and that should be fine, hopefully. But, yeah. Hopefully this, hopefully it works out and that substrate doesn't become a problem. I don't think it will. But yeah, I don't know how many that is. Quite a few. And there's definitely way more in that tank, so I may add more. I just wanted to see how this worked before I put, all of the best in here. I wanted to make sure this tank was alright for him, and, I didn't just start losing shrimp. But I don't think I will. I move shrimp around the fish room all the time. I don't have any issues. I haven't had a shrimp die in probably 6 months now. So yeah, they're gonna live in here with the Downoi forest, and hopefully pretty soon the Flamingo Crypt forest. So right now for acclimation, what I'm doing is I've got them in this little, not a breeder box, specimen container, I guess is what they're called. And yeah, I'm just pouring in a little bit of extra water, and I actually broke this, and then I took little bits of the egg crate and just super glued it back together, and I have not had an issue. I've hung this on the outside of tanks, and it broke right there, I think. Like, right there is where it broke. Right? Yeah, no, it broke right there. And I've not had a single issue. Yeah, no, it broke right there and all the way across. I've hung it on the outside of tanks, lots of weight on it, and no issues, so... yeah. Well, that one, there he is. You see that one dead center? Where's he at? Right there. He's got a little bit of discoloration there. I think I might cull him out. I don't think it's an issue. Compared to everyone else, he does look a little bit different. But sometimes that can just be what's in their their stomach. I think that's just what he was eating. Occasionally what I get in these, the only problems I have are reds, so I get a little bit of blue-red willies, and those I do cull into a cull tank. I think that's just food though. I think that he was eating mulberry leaves, so I don't think that's an issue, but we're gonna let them sit here a little bit longer, and then we'll put them in, and we'll see what they do. Alright, so I'm about to go ahead and dump them in. I just added a little bit more water, and I do want to cover something real quick. If your shrimp are stressed out, you'll see it. Right now these aren't stressed, they're just sitting on the bottom attempting to graze. If they're stressed, they're gonna swim around kind of like he is, like he's trying to like swim and like see if they can get out of their situation. And you'll know when, if all of your shrimp are just swimming in circles in like a bucket, it's because they're stressed. And that'll happen to you generally when you get new shrimp in and you're dripping them sometimes. If they start swimming kind of like in circles, just swimming around frantically like they're trying to leave, sometimes they'll even crawl up the sides out of the water, that's a definite sign that they're stressed and you should stop or slow your drip. But these ones here, they're just trying to graze, so they're definitely good, and I wouldn't suspect that they would have any stress issues during this, from the water at least. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and free these. And we'll just let them go out at their own pace, kind of. Look, freedom. Freedom. Look at all that. The only other tank mates in here are a few Amano shrimp and some snails. Just some pink ram's horns over there chowing down on a green bean. Oh, and I'm going to have to change a few things here. I'm going to have to fix that little siphon. I'll show you how I do that too. Oh, they're so beautiful. Come on. A few more. Oof. Come on. All of you get out. There you go. Ah! Ooh, good thing that did not fall in. Jeez. Alright, so they're all in. Oh, that one has a little bit of red in him. Alright, that one's gonna come out. Where is he? That one. There. Looks like he has red. Is it red or is it food? I think it's red. Now that I've got him in like better light. Maybe it's not red. It doesn't show up on the camera. I don't know. I'll keep an eye. The real reason I wanted to put, these shrimp into this bigger tank, and I'll show you. So, over here on these little 10 gallons with them so heavily planted, and this is the Blue Dream tank. There's you see a coal right there. See, that's a blue, really, right there. That one's got to get cold, but we'll worry about that later. The issue I have with these is they're just so small. They're really hard to coal out of. And they're also congesting. Like your shrimp will hit kind of like a max capacity. And I had that happen to these reds over here not long ago. I had it happen to my snowballs. So, and I just haven't been able to do anything because I've been busy. And I'm finally getting around to it. But yeah, it's hard to get a net in here. It's hard to get your hand in here. It's also hard to see because I keep them pretty densely planted. There's no room for the plants to grow, so they just cram up against the sides, and it's hard to see in here and find all these little shrimp. So when you do have a coal, one little scoot and he's into the thick leaves, and you can't see him and you can't get him out. So it's hard to coal, and that's one of the main reasons I want to get them into this tank, besides it being bigger and doing a split on the colony for better lines. But yeah, it looked like red on the from my point of view, but I didn't see it on the camera, so maybe that guy's fine. The shrimp look fine. Gosh, they look better in here. They look so much better in here. It's the light though, and again, those are those eBay lights from CLL Pet Supplies, who I don't recommend you buying them from, but they're the only ones that sell them, because I've gotten like 2 broken ones from them. Yeah, I'm happy about that. But there's an Amano. Come on, focus. There we go. Yeah, hopefully this works. But yeah, so this little guy here, that is sewing mesh. What I'll end up doing on that, and I have it done over here on this shrimp tank, that is just a reusable. I got it from Sprouts, or you can get them from Whole Foods as well. It is a reusable bag for like your vegetables and stuff, so you don't use the little plastic ones. And they're fairly cheap, and I just have that stuff lying around. I'm sure Jadrin Aquatics uses like wedding veil mesh, and I'm sure that's probably even cheaper and the exact same thing. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and put on here real quick, and then we'll do one final one final update on them before we go. Alright, so here is what I've got. This is the little mesh stuff. You can see I got it from Sprouts, a little grocery store near here. And yeah, it's just thin mesh, probably very similar to wedding veil stuff. So yeah, I just cut this up. That's good enough. Screw it. Hopefully this works and I don't like regret this. That would stink if it didn't. Come on. Come on. Alright, that's it. Alright, that is it. She's done. Got that put on there all sloppy like, but hey, it should work. I'm gonna have to go back over to that and try and fix it up, because I kind of don't like that, and I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if this tank stays CO2, because dude, that's horrible. We'll see if this tank stays CO2 or not, because I've been actually accidentally hooked up the wrong CO2 because I disconnected and reconnected some, so I didn't have CO2 to this for like the last month, and it's been getting way less water changes. I've been doing water changes once every 10 days to like 14 days, and I haven't had any issues dosing it every day with Pro PPS like I have been. Of course, I'm dosing less, but I'm dosing on opposite days now, so more nutrients are available, but I'm giving less of them. So yeah, I don't know. This may just go to a sponge and maybe some type of CO2 system. I'm not sure. I might use one of those little discs. I just don't like those. I don't think they're very effective, but you know, hey, we'll see. Shrimp look to be doing good. They're just moseying around, grazing. So, and all that down oil is just so thick. So they've got, like, normally I like to keep moss in my shrimp tanks so they have this place to bed down and really make like their little homes in, or whatever, little safe spots. Nothing can get them. But that down oil, you can just see, is just, it's super thick, and that is just all the way back, that whole little tank. It's like 3/4 of the tank, because that half the tank is like right there, and it's just creeping over. So yeah, they've got a lot of places to hide and graze in that down oil. So threw in a few catappa leaves for them. Those can start to deteriorate. Also give me some humic substances in the tank, just make an all-around healthier tank. So yeah, that is the new Blue Dream tank. I'm super excited. We'll do an update on this as time goes by, and we'll see how well they're breeding. I didn't get a count on those. If anyone wants to count them and let me know, I'd appreciate it, and we can see, you know, how long it takes for this tank to just be covered with shrimp. Because right now we've got enough to kind of, I don't know, to be present and to actually see them with all those places to hide. But yeah, we'll check back in here in, I don't know, a couple months. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I guess like the next time we should check in, and I don't know, any recommendations. This is my down oil tank, so I mean, there is a limit onto what I'll do with it, because I need that down oil to grow, but I also want those shrimp to do really good. That being said, I don't think down oil needs CO2. I do want to get those flamingo crypts growing a little bit faster, so that's why I'm keeping CO2 in here now. So maybe once those are like an adult plant, which will take at least 3 or 4 more months, I'll disconnect CO2. But yeah, we'll see how the shrimp do, and if the shrimp do good, shrimp will come first. But yeah, anyways guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Oh yeah, and this tank here, this 20 long black substrate, is going to be for some orange shrimp. That's the next thing I'm working on. I've moved out 90% of the dwarf neon rainbows, put them into a 75, And I'm working on getting this tank ready for them. I just got to finish getting the fish out. I want to rescape it, prep it for shrimp, get some moss growing in it, and then we'll split the orange tank and get the good ones in here. So that'll be the next shrimp tank.